Hello and welcome. Today I will be transplanting my winter sown seedlings from the jugs into larger containers. So I will show you the process that I go through, and I'm doing this because a lot of them cannot be planted in my garden yet. There's a lot of work that will be done. Some of them are a little too small anyway to go into the garden, and then lastly some of them are going to friends and neighbors. So let's get started. I purchased these grow bags on Amazon. They're little mesh bags, and so I'll be doing my transplanting of the seedlings into this. They're 4 inches tall and about 2 inches wide, and I'll be placing them in this baking pan, and that way I can bottom water. This is the potting soil that I'm using to pot up the seedlings. Just a normal potting soil that I got at Home Depot. So here are the coneflowers that I recently dropped this container. So I need to transplant these. And this is going to be a little tricky just because now I have to be super careful. Let's grab this one here. There we go. One seedling. I'm just going to try and get it in here. Carefully, not to damage it. All right, that one is in. And just a few more to go, so I'll just speed this up. So here are the final potted up. These are the Echinacea purple, which I had winter sown on February 4th. And I've got, 39 I think in here. 24 in this tray. I put the strongest ones in here. So now I'm going to water all of these, and I'm just going to leave them on my deck for now. I don't want them to go into shock and be in the sun. So I'm going to be a little gentle with it. So there were a few casualties with it, and so unfortunately these, didn't grow enough of a root. I guess that one might have a little bit, but I decided, unfortunately, these are casualties because I ended up dropping this, and but I still have a lot of plants. All right, so I want to slow it down again and show you a few of the transplants and what I'm doing. Most of the time you do want to take a chunk of soil and just plant it straight into the garden. So, okay, let's start with this one. Some of them have very deep roots, but what I've been doing is I'm just trying to go far from the plant and just start lifting up. Like, see here, there's 2 plants, and there's, I think, even some baby ones in there. So I'm trying not to disturb the roots so I don't cut into them. And all I'm trying to do is loosen them from here. So let's see. These have really, a lot of the plants have developed extremely good roots. And it's a great sign. They're fairly strong. But I'm seeing this one sort of come apart. Right, let's see if we can get this here. Nope, not yet. It's still pretty much stuck in there. There we go. Almost. Okay, so if I can get some of the soil from the pot with it, I do like that. Look how long that root is. Wow, that is crazy long. Okay, so now I am going to plant it in this pot, and right here. So I will try to make a nice hole in the center to get all the roots in. I do have a little chopstick where I'm just leading the roots into the pot. And then what I was doing is if I have soil like I do here in this container, like over here there was no seeds that grew, I'm just taking that soil and I'm adding it into this pot. Sorry about that. So I'm just adding it into this pot and then just trying to get it to have some of the soil it grew in. It always helps a little bit. And I'm also making sure that it's at the level it was in the container, which it was, like those two little tiny leaves. I don't know if you can see that. Two little tiny leaves at the very bottom. That was at the soil level or right under it. And so that's about as deep as I want to get. And then I do press around the edges to make sure that a lot of the air pocket is, the soil doesn't have too many air pockets. And then I just try to firm up the plants. I don't press too hard around the actual plant. Don't want to make the soil too hard there. And then I just fill in as needed, just to make sure there's enough soil in here, because once we water it also, the soil goes down a little bit. It compresses. So there you go. There is a potted up little seedling, and this is some bee balm. And I'll do another one just so that you can see how I'm doing this. So let's come back over here, and here are two that are growing together, and those can be a little tricky. Oops. And I do that many times. Try not to, but okay. So these two, as you can see, they're intertwined. And this soil is just slightly moist. It's, it's crumbly, and so it's easy to pull apart. Look at this one. Actually, the roots came apart super easy. Sometimes it's a little harder to tease them apart, but these came apart very easily. And then there is this little tiny baby one right there, which if I also try to pull apart, probably this one's going to be a little harder, I think, to get just the root system away from this larger one. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. Sometimes you do have to take away some of the soil just to untangle it. Yep, that one untangled. So now I've got this little bitty one that I can pot up, and I have these two. This one here has a really good root system, so I'll do this one here. So now back to the pot, and okay, I will make a hole in the center, try to dig it in, nice and deep hole, and then put the root system in there. Make sure all the roots get in there and are going to be nicely covered. And now I'm holding it by the leaf up top as I'm trying to plant it, just to try and keep it straight in the pot. And then I want to add some of the soil from the pot, if I can grab some in here that are not. Okay, there we go. It's a little hard when the container still has still some little seedlings, and you know, I want to transplant those over. But okay, so now those little leaves are at the bottom, and then I just again press it down on all the sides, and then just a little, very lightly around the plant. I want those two little leaves to be off the soil. So there we go, and then the rest is there. This one doesn't need anything extra, just watering, and that's it. So I'll show you the rest, just will be much faster. So here I have lots of the seedlings all potted up. Here are the snapdragons, and this other half is phlox. These are the ones that I believe I got from Floret a couple years ago. Then I have the purple echinacea, which is the one I had dropped, and they're all doing well. And then here, so this whole tray is green twister except for this one. Here are the rest of the seedlings that I potted up, as well as one of the winter sown containers still in there. You know, I didn't finish out all the winter sowing containers. I just did the ones that had very few seedlings in them, and decided rather than having the full container, I would just start potting them up. And again, some of these are going to friends and family, but I bought this on Amazon and thought it would be good for keeping a lot of these seedlings here. So yeah, I have a lot more than I really will probably put in my garden, but not a bad problem to have. Right. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.